Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today, bull market top, ? You heard me right. We've got information on how we look to see if a bull market is peaking, and we think you're going to find interest in this, valuable news and insight. So with that, I've got my distinguished colleagues who I just came out of a great meeting with, Bobby Norman, Ty Miller. Looking forward to this discussion. Had a great time with the two of you in our meeting and really appreciate the work that you've done. So Bobby, why don't you start us off here, because a lot of people are saying, how high can this market go? Are we in trouble? Is it peaked? And I think you've got a great way for people to understand where we are. Go ahead.
Yeah, so last week we saw volatility spike in the market. So what we want to do and what we like to do when this happens is we look at a checklist of 9 things that have historically led to previous bull market tops. So as you can see in this checklist, all 9 items were checked in 2000 and 2007 before a recession and a market pullback. So let's look at where they stand today. First, a blow off top. We're not seeing the euphoria that comes with higher valuations. So that's good. Second, net inflows into equity funds are not as high as inflows into money market funds. So there still remains a lot of cash on the sidelines. That's a positive. While M&A activity has picked up, the third one here, it hasn't gotten to the level where it seems frothy. The fourth item we look at is IPO activity. And IPO activity has been somewhat lackluster. We would be concerned if it really picks up this year, because too many IPOs usually leads to too much risk taking. So the fifth item we look at, inflation and interest rates. Both are trending down and remain lower than when recessions usually start. The sixth item we look at, earnings. Earnings are actually turning higher, which is a good sign that the market can still go higher here. The seventh item we look at, breadth. Breadth has expanded significantly in recent months, which is a good positive trend we'd like to see continue here. The eighth item we look at is money flowing to defensive stocks. And right now, we have not seen that shift yet into more defensive positions. The ninth and the final item we look at is widening credit spreads. And we're seeing high yield and investment grade credit spreads remaining tight. It's when they start to separate in a big way that we start to worry. So again, none of the 9 items on our bull market top checklist are checked, which is a great indicator that at least for the near term, the market has tailwinds. As always, no guarantees, and these 9 items can change at any time, but we like what we're seeing, especially with a strong labor market. So a lot to look at, but so far, so good.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great idea to share our checklist so people could see what we're looking at. You also, with this vlog, can start looking at these. We like having conversation about this. So as Bobby said, we don't think we're at a bull market top yet, and a lot of cash on the sidelines. But this gives you insight as to what we're looking for as we navigate through the markets and coordinate in relation to your financial blueprints. And then Ty, the topic that continues to be a theme that we've talked about from last year into this year is inflation. And inflation's still out there. And you did a great job presenting some of those facts today. Elaborate on that.
Yeah, so we got a jobs report last week. Average hourly earnings increased 0.3%. They're up over 4% in the past year. So that's service inflation. That's obviously running ahead of the Fed's kind of target of 2%. It's double that. So that's something that we're keeping an eye on. Service inflation is still here. And then, of course, we still have some goods inflation as well. You may have noticed, I'm sure you have, going to the gas station, the price of oil, as you see in this chart, the index is at new all-time highs. And you see this black line here where the crude oil futures usually follow that. And so it hasn't broken out yet. It's up about 20% year to date. Technically speaking, this chart could, go a little bit further. So we might see an increase in oil prices still yet to come. And then I have this chart here on cocoa. It looks like something that you would see in the meme stock craze of 2020. I mean, this thing is up 60% in March. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Just the price of cocoa just soaring through the roof. Of course, the Fed is watching all this. We talked about bull market tops. I think ideally the bull market would like to see slowing inflation, maybe a rate cut or two while the economy is still strong. Well, in May, there's about a 98% chance the Fed's not cutting. June is 50-50 right now. But if we're going to get inflation reports, and other kind of data like this, it's going to be hard for the Fed to cut in the near term. So it's something that we're definitely keeping an eye on.
Yeah, and we're still sticking with what we've said since last year, that the Fed wasn't going to make all those rate cuts like the others were predicting. So I'm proud of that. And it's another reason why we do these vlogs. We want to give you information. We want you to understand what we're doing here at Five Plan Partners. We believe knowledge helps you as you see the volatility of the market and better understand how we navigate through things. And with that, we're also excited. We're going to continue expanding on our podcast, our social media, educational materials. Tomorrow, we've got a great piece coming out. Take time to read it. We think it'll be beneficial to you as our clients. And then also from the standpoint, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, we're going to continue that kind of information as well. So if you have time, we want you to take advantage of it. If you don't, we understand. And then we also appreciate all of you that continue to forward this vlog to family, friends, colleagues. The response we've gotten has been fantastic. So it's a way that we know we're making a difference, not only in your lives, but the people around you. So with that said, we hope you have a great week. We're going to keep you updated. We don't see a bull market peaking at this point. And just know that every day here at Five Plan Partners, we're striving to see to it that our clients' lives are better, richer, fuller. Thank you. Take care.